भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिन्निति नामिनी। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिनी। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणी। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। हरे कृष्ण। By the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, we successfully finished the 11th chapter Vishwarupa yesterday. So in the 11th chapter we understood about Krishna's universal form. We also understand that Vishnu form, that is Chaturbhujena, four-armed form, that is also Krishna. That's what we need to understand. We normally we were told that Krishna is just one of the avatar of Vishnu. But here Krishna himself is showing the Vishnu form, and Krishna is the source of Vishnu. That's what we need to understand. So Krishna is the source of everything. And Krishna and Vishnu, they both are same. Mahavishnu, Hari. So that way, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and his original form is the two-handed form, two-armed form, and in Goloka, Krishna is in Goloka in his two-armed form. So all these forms which Krishna showed to Arjuna by giving him divine eyes, Divyam Chakshu, Divyam Dadami Te Chakshu. So that's how Arjuna could see Krishna's universal form. And now we understand from this Bhagavad Gita, from this 11th chapter, even in the 10th chapter also, Krishna's vibhuti, Krishna's opulence, we understood very well that Krishna has got both manifested form and also unmanifest form also. So that is impersonal form, impersonal feature. So Krishna pervades this entire universe by his unmanifest form. That's what is called Avyakta Murti. Avyakta Murti means unmanifest form. Jagat Avyakta Murti. Maya Tatam Idam Sarvam Jagat Avyakta Murti. So that way, Krishna is the support. Krishna is everything. Gatir. Gatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasaga Saranam Sugrut Prabhavaga Pralayagastanam Nidanam Bijam Avyayam. So Krishna is the everything. Krishna is the Gati. Krishna is the destination. So that's what Krishna is saying, that Param Gatim. So you reach my supreme destination. That's what is the Param Gatim, Gatir. And Krishna is the one who supports everything, who maintains everything. So that way Krishna is the Bharta. And Krishna is the master. Krishna is the Prabhu. Gatir Bharta, Prabhu Sakshi. And Krishna is the witness. Gatir Bharta, Prabhu Sakshi, Nivasaga Saranam Sugur. and Krishna is the Nivasa, resting place, and Krishna is the Saranam, so he is the one refuge, Saranam Sugurt. Krishna is the well-wisher, Saranam Sugur, Prabhavaga Pralayaga Sthanam. So Krishna is the Prabhavaga, he is the source of everything, and also Pralayaga. So Krishna is also Pralaya, so he destroys everything. So Prabhavaga Pralayaga Sthanam, Nidanam Bijam Avyayam. Krishna is the seed-giving father and he is eternal. So I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, resting place, and the eternal seed. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So everything comes from Krishna. Everything. Buddhir jnanam asammohaga Kshama Satyam Damasamaha Sukham Dukkam Bhava Bhavo Bhayam Cha Bhayameva Cha Ahimsa Samata Tustihi Tapodanam Yaso Yasaga Bhavanti Bhava Bhutanam Mattayeva Prathak Vidaga. So these are all the Bhava Bhutanam. These are all the various nature of the Bhava, various nature of these Bhutas, the living entities. So Krishna is saying that everything is coming from me only. That's what he says there. So Buddhir Jnanam Asammoham. So Krishna is saying that intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of the senses, control of the mind, happiness and distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, simplicity, charity, fame and infamy. All these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone. So that's what here Bhava means. I know there was a question about what is Bhava and Swabhava. There was a difference. So the Bhava is actually the various qualities, various nature, the living entities nature, qualities, the Bhava. So Krishna is saying that everything is Bhavanti Bhava Bhutanam Mattayeva Pratak Vidaga. Mattayeva Pratak Vidaga means all these various types of nature, qualities, they are coming only from me. That's what Krishna is saying that. Mattayeva Pratak Vidaga. Mattaga Sarvam Pravartade. Everything emanates from me. That's what Krishna is saying there. I am the source of everything and everything emanates from me. Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Mattaga Sarvam Pravartade. So that way, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and everything comes from Krishna. But we in this material world, without having this knowledge, that is the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, stupidly, foolishly, we are attached to material sense objects and we simply forget about Krishna and we are simply worried about a lot of useless nonsense things in this material world. That is purely due to our ignorance, nothing else. Because of our ignorance, lack of knowledge. So that's why we are struggling and suffering in this material world. So jnana, this knowledge, this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, which shows us the way, which shows us how to get out of this material world, how to get freed from this material sufferings in this material world. So that way, we are very fortunate that we are getting this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So now we understand that Krishna is the source of everything. We have no doubt about that. We know very well, without any doubt. We know for sure that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Krishna is our Supreme Father. Krishna is everything for us. And we need to simply love Krishna. That's it. That love towards Krishna, it should just come from this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, nothing else. There is no need for anyone to convince us. There is no need to really for us to forcefully convert somebody as a devotee of Krishna. Nothing. This only comes only out of love. That's it. Only love towards Krishna with the knowledge. That's it. So we can teach anyone who is willing to listen to Bhagavad Gita, willing to understand Bhagavad Gita. So that's what we should be doing in our life daily. That should be our primary duty actually. That's a very important service we should be doing. Because this is going to cleanse our heart, cleanse ourselves from all kinds of this material misconceptions, and this is going to actually also liberate ourselves and also helps everyone else also to get free from this material bondage. Because in this material world, everyone is suffering, everyone is struggling in this material world. No one is free. everyone is actually suffering and struggling. That's what we need to understand. So that way, by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have got this knowledge. It's very rare. It's very, very rare. Athava, Krishna is saying that this is etaddi durlabatam. So etaddi durlabatam. Athava yoginam yeva kule bhavati dhimatha etaddi durlabataram loke janma yadedrusham. In this loka, in this world, taking a birth with as a devotee, like we have got the opportunity to study this Bhagavad Gita. It's a very rare opportunity. It's very, very rare. Durlabhataram. But we have got it. Krishna's mercy, we have got it. And we are making use of it. And every day we are studying Bhagavad Gita. Every day we are spending this time to study Bhagavad Gita and remember Krishna and follow Krishna's instructions, understand Krishna's instructions. So that way our knowledge on Bhagavad Gita is becoming rich every day. We are enriching our knowledge, because when we get so much of knowledge, all this knowledge, whatever Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita fully and understand it completely, so our ignorance is getting completely dispelled. So that way, by Krishna's mercy, we are making use of our eyes of knowledge is opening up. Jnana Chakshushaga, with which we can see things as they are. Uktramantam sitam vapi bunjana va gunanvitam vimuta nanu pasyanti jnana chakshushaga. So when we quit a body and get another body, when we are changing the bodies, after quitting so many bodies, changing the bodies, and under the spell of the modes of nature, when we are enjoying the material sense objects, a fool cannot see all these things. That's what Utramantam Sitam Vapi Bunjana Va Gunanvitam Vimuda Nanu Pasyanti. A Vimuda, a fool cannot see all these things. Whereas Pasyanti Jnana Chakshusagam, whereas a person who has got the eyes of knowledge can see all these things. And our eyes of knowledge is getting widely opened by Krishna's mercy. Because this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we are understanding it completely. And very nice questions Arjuna is asking. And we are understanding everything very clearly. And Krishna is saying that only by devotion I can be understood as I am. That's it. Bhaktyat labhyaya ananyaya. So only by bhaktyat ananyaya sakyu. Aham evam vido Arjuna. So only without any deviation. So unalloyed devotion. Only with unalloyed devotion. So one can understand as I am. That's what Krishna is saying there. So bhaktyat ananyaya sakyugu aham evam vido Arjuna. So that way, jnatum drashtum cha praveshtum cha parantapa. Jnatum drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. To know, to see, and to enter. That's what jnatum, drashtum, praveshtum. So to know this Bhagavad Gita, so to jnatum, to see Krishna face to face. Because no one can see Krishna. Krishna is covered by Yoga Maya. Nagam prakasyaga sarvasya Yoga Maya samavritaka. I am not visible to anyone. I am covered by my internal potency. So in order to see Krishna, we need to go above the modes of material nature. So that's what jnatum drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. So praveshtum, to enter into Krishna's abode, to go and meet Krishna face to face, to see Krishna, to talk to Krishna, to play with Krishna, to live with Krishna. So we need to be a devotee of Krishna, nothing else. We need to be a devotee. So bhakta. That's why Krishna said in the sloka number 55, the last sloka in the 11th chapter, what we studied, Krishna said that mat karma krin mat paramo madartam sangavarjitaha nirvairaga sarvabhutesu yashamameti bharata. That's what Krishna is saying there. So mat karma krit mat parama. So do everything for me. That's what, everything. Matparama. So keeping me as the supreme. Matkarma krin matparama. Madartam sangha varjitagam. So give up all varieties of attachment only for my sake. That's what Krishna is saying, that Madartam sangha varjitagam. So nirvairaga sarvabhutesu yas samameti pandava. So Madartam sangha varjitaga nirvairaga sarvabhutesu. So be friend to everyone. So not being enemy to anyone. So that's what nirvairaga sarvabhutesu. So don't be an enemy to anyone. So be friendly to everyone. So that way, yasamameti pandava, he will attain me. He will come to me. That's what Krishna is saying there. Because when we have this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then we will be able to get freedom from all these material contacts. Nirmana moha jita sangatosa adhyatma vidya vinivruddha kamaga dvandvaigi muktaga sukha dukkha samjaygi gacchantyamudaga padamavyayam tat. That's what Krishna is saying in the 15th chapter. So Krishna is saying that nirmana moha jita sanga dosa. So free from illusions, nirmana moha, jita sanga dosa. So free from all attachments to this material world. So having conquered, so jita means conquered all this maya, conquered all these attachments, not having any attachment. So jita sanga dosa, nirmana moha, jita sanga dosa, adhyatma vidya. So having the knowledge about ourselves, having the knowledge that we are controlled by the three modes of material nature. So understanding that, getting the eyes of knowledge, seeing that how everyone is controlled by the modes of nature. That's what adhyatma vidya. Vinivruddha kamaga. So free from all desires. Vinivruddha kamaga. Dvandvaihi muktaga. So free from the dualities. So dvandvaihi muktaga. Sukha dukkha samjaygi. Being equal in both happiness and distress. So nirmana moga jita sangatosa adhyatma vidya vinivruddha kamaga dvandvaihi muktaga sukha dukkha samjaygi gacchantyamuda padamavyayam tat. So that person who is not a fool, amuda. Many times Krishna says that muda, vimuda, muda. But here Krishna is saying that amuda. Amuda means who is not a fool, who is intelligent. So gacchanti amuda padam avyayam tat. So he will reach the destination which is permanent. Padam avyayam. So permanent abode. That is Krishna's abode. So that's what we will go with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So for that, we have to be a devotee of Krishna. That's what is very, very important. So just being a devotee of Krishna is enough. We are going to go to Krishna's well, Goloka. So Krishna can be understood as he is only when we are a devotee of Krishna. That's it. Nothing else. Simply just believe in Krishna. Have faith on Krishna. So focus our mind on Krishna and think about Krishna and love Krishna. That's it. So love Krishna and serve Krishna. So that way be connected with Krishna all the time. So then we are going to go to Krishna's way. So that is the science of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is teaching us very, very clearly how to reach him. So in the next sloka, that is this 12th chapter, first sloka we are starting today. So 12th chapter is Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga, 12th chapter. So it has got only less number of slokas. I remember about 20 slokas only. Yeah, about 20 slokas in the 12th chapter. So Arjuna is asking a very, very important question now. Because Arjuna, we noticed that Arjuna always asks question based on what Krishna says at the end. So Krishna is saying about bhakti. Bhakti, only by devotion one can understand me, one can see me. Now Arjuna is asking a question. because he just saw Krishna's universal form, the impersonal form, Krishna's universal form. Arjuna just saw. We know that some people they don't accept God as a person, so they worship in impersonal form. So here Arjuna is asking that question. In the 12th chapter, very first sloka, Arjuna is asking that question. Arjuna uvacha yevam satata yuktaye bhaktastvam paryupasate ye chapyaksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittamaha evam satata yuktaye, those who are always engaged. Satata yuktaye means always engaged. Satata yuktaye, ye means those who are always engaged. Bhaktas tvam paryupasade, those bhaktas, those devotees who are always engaged in your devotional service. That's what paryupasade. So they always worship you, they are always engaged in your service, they always worship you as a person. That's what is very important. When we say I'm a bhakta, I'm a devotee, so we can be a devotee of Krishna when we believe that Krishna is the supreme person. That's what is very important. So that's what Arjuna is asking the question, bhakta. So, evam satata yuktaye bhaktas tvam paryupasate ye chapi aksharam avyaktam. Those who worship. Ye means again those who. Ye. So first he said that evam satata yuktaye bhaktas tvam paryupasate, those who always worship you as a person, and those ye chapi aksharam avyaktam. Aksharam. So that is aksharam means which is beyond the senses, inconceivable. Aksharam. Avyaktam also is unmanifested. So aksharam avyaktam. Those who worship the unmanifested impersonal form. So that's what is very important. So echapi aksharam avyaktam. So tesham, of them, tesham ke yoga vittamaha. Who is the best in yoga? Who is the most perfect in yoga? Tesham ke yoga vittamaha. That's what Arjuna is asking the question. We need to understand. Even in the 5th chapter, when Arjuna asked the question, Sanyasam karmanam Krishna punar yogam cha samsasi yachreya etayor ekam tanme bruhi sunischitam. At that time, Krishna said that, you told me about Sanyasam karmanam, by giving up the activities, by renouncing the activities, or by performing the yoga, karma yoga. So punar yogam cha samsasi. Out of this, which one is good for me? So Krishna said that sanyasaga karma yogascha nishreyasa karavubau. Tayostu karma sanyasat karma yogo visisyate. But out of them, karma yoga is the better. That's what Krishna is saying. But here Arjuna is asking the question that those who are worshipping you as a person, those who are your devotees, who are always engaged in your worship, or those who are worshipping the unmanifested, impersonal feature of you. So of them, who is the best in yoga? So that's what Arjuna is asking the question. It's a very, very important question. See, we need to know why these questions are very important, because here people argue a lot of things as if they follow whatever they say is correct and all such things. There are many movements, different leaders, different ways, different things. They all talk so many different things. But when we directly get the answer from Krishna, that's what we are getting in this Bhagavad Gita. It's a very important question. So here Arjuna is directly asking the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. So when we get the answer from Krishna, just follow it, just accept it. That's it. There is no need to argue. There is no need to debate over this. There is no need to waste our time. So simply just study and understand Bhagavad Gita and follow what Krishna says. That's it. So then Krishna is saying that many times in Bhagavad Gita that asamsayam, there is no doubt. Mameva isisi asamsayam. You will come to me, there is no doubt about it. That's what Krishna is saying. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully started the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. We finished the first sloka, very first sloka in the 12th chapter. Hare Krishna. I will stop now and we'll discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna.